2 years to the day since you beat Charles Martin. So events like this, I mean, how has your life changed in that time since you first got your hands on one of the championship belts?
Interestingly, I feel like I've just got a bit more serious about what I'm doing and just focused a bit more. I think you can kind of fall into that mindset when you achieve something that you've always wanted to, like a childhood dream, and you get there, it's time to relax and enjoy it. But I've used it as a motivator to kind of work harder, work smarter, and I want to see if we're talking a year from now, hopefully I can still be in a position where I've achieved more, I've got the last belt that's out there, and I just think that the sky's the limit.
You say you take it more seriously and so on. Do you enjoy these things? Because obviously it's serious when you're building up to a fight. Once you've had a big fight, you can relax. Do you still enjoy sort of engaging with the public and that sort of thing?
Yeah, man, 100%. Like, I was in Paris at the weekend, walking at the Eiffel Tower with the public, taking pictures. You know, France have a big interest in boxing. So yeah, it was really nice to be with the public. Then I'm back here in the UK, the home of boxing at York Court, about to engage in a world record event. And without the people, we wouldn't be able to achieve this record. So I love engaging with them because together we can achieve certain things. So I hope we can get this world record underway.
And you mentioned that in Paris. I mean, I don't think we've seen you since the Parker fight. So what have you been doing? How have you been winding down from that? You've been back in the gym ticking over? Is it total relaxation for you?
I'm supposed to be back in the gym today. Paris took it out of me, so I've had to reschedule. So this is my first workout. And but it's been a week. And coach let me have the day off because we got back late. And yeah, this is my first workout, and we're going to start cracking on this week and get back to basics.
You've always talked, even from the amateur days to becoming a world champion, about improving yourself, constantly getting better, constantly learning. What have you learned from the Joseph Parker, not just the fight, the build up to the fight, everything around it, that perhaps you didn't know ahead of Klitschko, ahead of Takam?
I feel like a main factor was my weight, understanding to cater for the opponent I'm fighting. So whether I fluctuate or I bring my weight back down, I have to cater for an opponent. And also being able to follow out a strict game plan and have the discipline to do it. Because there was times in the fight when I wanted to explode on Parker and take him out, but we had a game plan to control him. Because I think we've got so much at stake, let's minimise the risk, achieve what we're setting out to do. And once we've done that, we've got one more belt to go. And I think now I'm in that position, I've got nothing to lose. I've got everything to gain. Before, I had everything to lose, I felt. So I wanted to take minimal risk. And I learned that in the Parker fight is execute a game plan to a T to look at the bigger picture. And we're one belt away from creating history. So now with that fight, I'm going to go out there, you know, blazing and try and achieve something that hasn't been done before.
A lot of people, when they see Anthony Joshua get in the ring, they expect him to go in and blast the other guy out. Was it important to you to know, just deep down, you can go 12 rounds. In a championship fight, you can go there, you can do the business without blasting the guy out, but your boxing skills take you through the 12 rounds?
I think it's important for certain parts of boxing fans to understand that I can do that, and other fans want to see knockouts. But for 20 fights, I've catered for one side of boxing, and on my 21st fight, that one fight I catered for another side. So now, people can say, I mix brains with brawn. I've got both sides, rather than just being a situation, because I feel like people have always asked, what's he like as a boxer? And it'll be hard to answer because I've never showed that side of me. But if people say, can you have a fight? I say, yeah, of course. But then they say, what's he like as a boxer? And now I've given people an opportunity to say, yeah, that boy can box as well as fight.
Of course, in the build-up to Parker and obviously subsequent to beating Parker, all the talk's been when you're going to get it together with Deontay Wilder. He says he wants it, you say you want it, but in terms of Eddie Hearn sitting down with his people and getting this fight made, whereabouts are we at the moment?
Honestly speaking, I want that fight, there's no doubt about it, but I've gone through a situation where to get that fight, I want to become undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. I've currently got my hands on 4 belts in 21 fights. And he was very vocal about wanting the fight before I was, because my objective was to accumulate every single one of the belts. And now I have done that, Wilder's my 100% attention. And I've waited for an offer, so we're about to make another offer to Wilder's team. A very good offer that should create a lot of interest from their team. And hopefully that will stop a lot of his talking and whining, and he can step up to the plate and take the deal, and we can eat together and put on a great show, hopefully at Wembley or Cardiff, somewhere in the UK, and become undisputed heavyweight champion of the world.
He's saying that do something in London, then maybe at the end of the year you can do something in the States as well with a rematch or something. Is that something you'd be open to?
Yeah. But it's kind of the same with Klitschko. Unfortunately, he retired. But we done one in London and we was actually looking at America. So that's definitely an option. Being a world champion means you fight anywhere and everywhere. But I do really like the fact that UK boxing is booming and we've cornered the market. So that's why I've never rushed to kind of shoot off anywhere. I'm happy being based here, and I think a lot of my supporters are happy me fighting here as well. So I think the first one has to be in the UK, because also I want to be able to call that shot, because I've worked extremely hard to put myself in a power position when it comes to the negotiations. So hopefully he'll understand and come to the UK and get this fight on.
And has been a lot of talk and so on. Do you feel, and there's an offer going in, do you feel once that offer's on the table, there are no excuses on his part? Is it an offer that you think, well, if he turns this down, then he's not really serious about this fight?
I don't know about Wilder or how serious or not he is, but flip reverse it. Put me in a position where I'm fighting Vladimir Klitschko, Charles Martin when I won the title, and then Wilder offered me the same deal I'm going to offer him. But so imagine Wilder offering me this deal to come and fight me for 4 belts. I've got 1, and Wilder said, if you come to America and fight me for 4 belts, I'm giving you an opportunity, a great rematch clause, a great upfront clause, so on and so forth. I said to Eddie and my coach, I said, it's crazy because the same offer we're going to offer Wilder, I would grab that with both hands. So I just looked at it as a flip reverse. I'm an astute businessman. Even though I fight, I'm a hustler and I've got strategy and I'm very smart and I educate myself. So the deal I looked at for Wilder is the same deal I would have looked at for myself, and I would have been over the moon with a deal like that at that stage. So it'd be interesting to see how he takes it.
In the meantime, WBA are talking about Povetkin, Alexander Povetkin being the mandatory challenger. Is that a fight where you're thinking, if there's a lot of dilly-dallying over Deontay Wilder, is that one you'd be willing to take, and what sort of threat would he pose if you did take it?
So now Parker's out of the way and I'm a free agent, I'm not really interested in Povetkin, I'm interested in Wilder. Do you know where I'm coming from? But at the same time, I do want to hold on to all the belts because I want the opportunity to become undisputed champion. So I really want to get Wilder into a position where he can't refuse and we have to fight. So then, Povetkin's situation, hopefully that can be pushed on to a later date in 2019, and it doesn't disrupt the plans and offers we make in negotiations in the build-up to the Wilder fight.
Is Povetkin a serious contender? We saw him the other night against David Pride on the undercard of your fight as well. Is he someone that is worthy of the challenge?
The only person Povetkin lost to was Vladimir Klitschko. Povetkin's a big puncher, believe it or not. He's small, he's got that Mike Tyson-esque. I just think that he can punch. And that's what I felt with Parker, is that all he wanted to do was land one shot. I think he knew that he couldn't outbox me, he couldn't outsmart me, so he come into a situation where he wanted to land one shot. And when you're a puncher like Parker or Povetkin, they just wait for that one opportunity. So I think I'll be smarter than Povetkin, but he still possesses a threat to come and execute that one-punch knockout. And I have to be very careful, man. So, as I said, Povetkin isn't my priority right now. You know, Wilder is. So hopefully we can kind of put Povetkin into a position where we're looking at him later on in 2019.
And looking further down the line, I don't know how well aware you've been since the fight that Tyson Fury was giving a little bit of a running commentary on social media, and he was saying that he's the main event when it comes to heavyweight boxing. He could take both of you out on the same night. When you hear him saying that, are you thinking, somewhere down the line, once he gets himself sorted, that's still one that I would like to get on? Yeah,
like after the Klitschko fight, that was a guy I called out to challenge me straight away, and I still mention it now. Like, there's no denying, Tyson knows how to box. He's a good boxer. But other than that, until he makes his return to the ring, I can't sit down and wait patiently in my home, waiting for Tyson Fury's return. I've got a career and goals I want to achieve, so I'm focusing on what I'm doing. And when he gets himself together, the boxing fans await his return. So, like, what Fury does with his career has nothing to do with me. He just has to kind of get himself back in action and worry about what he's doing rather than sitting at home commentating on my fights. He should be getting a bit of motivation, hunger back in the belly to get out, get training and get back in the ring, because realistically people don't want to see a commentator, they want to see a fight.
And just finally, I know you've got to get away. If I can ask you, we've got a big fight coming up in a couple of weeks' time. Haye Bellew, the rematch. Have you got an opinion on which way that one will go, bearing in mind we had a big upset first time round?
Yeah, and I wouldn't call it an upset. I believed in Bellew from the start, in my opinion. So I wouldn't call it an upset in that sense. So I feel that Bellew will do it again. If you've done it once, if you fluked it once, caused an upset once, you'll definitely believe you can do it again. So he has that confidence in him. He took Haye's best shots. You know, remember, Bellew come up from cruiserweight. So did Haye actually, but they're both competing at heavyweight. And I believe that Bellew has the confidence going into this fight. And I really want Bellew to win, and I believe in him as well.